What's up? What's up? What's up? Still on my Martin Lawrence thing. What's up, you guys? Tuesday Night Football / Nothing Held Back podcast is here for another great episode. I mean, it's been a great weekend. But before we get into all of that, Caleb
and Gil,
what's up, man? How you doing?
I've been good, man. Been busy this weekend. I had a lot of stuff going on. I went to the Golden Knights game on Saturday. Okay. Shout out to the Golden Knights taking that nice 7-2 win over the Predators. And we're not going to talk about the game against the Flyers.
So that's a lot of goals. It's a lot of goals.
A lot of goals. So, yeah, honestly, would have loved that. But no, Knights played great. It started off really slow. We had 22 shots on goal and no score. It was great. And then that's a lot. Whereas the Predators, they scored within their first, I think, like 10 shots on goal, if something like that. It was like 10 or 15 shots on goal, and they scored. And I'll give credit to the goalie for the Predators. Like, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but hey, for that first half of the game, between the first period and most of the second period, he was a brick wall. He wasn't letting anything pass through. And then, we scored 7 unanswered goals. But
all in the so it's not like second half or anything like that. It's
first period, second period, third period.
Okay. Yeah.
So instead of it being 4 15s, it's 3 20s.
Damn.
Yeah. But no, honestly, it was a really cool game. It was a lot of fun. And then ended up going out last night to watch the national championship game. Shout out to Indiana. Winning the first national championship in program history.
That was dope.
Great game altogether. And it was the first 16-0 team in college football since I think it was 1894 Yale.
Damn.
Right.
Yale?
Which, think about that. That's crazy. Almost 200, like 150 years. Just about nothing.
Yale.
But here we are.
Okay. Yale.
Back in the 1890s. Back when they didn't use color TVs or electricity.
When we couldn't even, we wouldn't be in the same room unless you were whipping me or something.
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to leave it.
But it's the truth. I was just saying.
Yeah. How you doing, Miguel? How you been, man?
Good, man.
Better than the 1890s.
Yeah, better than the 1890s.
How was your MLK weekend?
Exactly, on MLK weekend. Well, it was great. It was great. It was actually a good weekend, man. I just chilled, watched the games all weekend. Mm-hmm. Mom's is in town again. Picked her up last night, but not late. Normally she'll come in like super late. But last night she came in at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It was beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah,
it was beautiful. That's really it, man. Just chilling, relaxing, trying to take care of some business, trying to grow our brand. That's kind of what I was working on, some stuff this past weekend. We got a lot of new stuff coming up, guys. A lot of new stuff coming up.
Oh, yeah. Some real fun stuff, too.
Yeah.
What we've been talking, we were talking before the show.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming up.
Cool stuff coming up.
Other than that, man, it was a nice, relaxing weekend.
Absolutely, yeah, man. It was cool, too, because when I went to the Knights game, I ended up running into an old coworker of mine, a good friend of mine. She actually works at the arena at like the merch booths and stuff. Mm-hmm. And of course, I ended up going and buying this hat, which I love this hat. This is sick. But out of all the merch booths I went to, I pull up to this one, look, get the hat, and I go to check out, and I look up and it's her, and I go, oh shit. She went, oh shit. And it was really cool because I hadn't seen her in a long time. I feel like I run into her like once every like 6 months.
Oh,
and it's just random.
Well, you gotta think though, Vegas is small. Vegas is a lot smaller than people think.
Right.
People think it's like this super big town, but it's really like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in this piece. It's like you bump into somebody that knows somebody that you know.
Right.
And like the industries, depending on where you work or what you do, whatever industry you work in this town, knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that you used to work with, or I know that person from this. Like, yeah, this town is really small. It's not as big as people think it is.
Yeah, it's a big city. There's a lot going on, but there's a lot of like close knit groups.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of like close knits. Like you said, like depending on like what you do for work, you're gonna know a lot of people. Like pretty much most of the casino workers, they either know most of the people at most of the other casinos, or they at least know like one person, and then that person knows someone from the other casino, and they can kind of work out getting like comp tickets and stuff, and do all kinds of stuff. But no, man, it was a good weekend. How was your weekend, Quan?
Juanito
Supreme.
It was good. I loved watching the games.
Absolutely.
Sure. Even though my team got whooped, I was definitely went to bed early that night.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about that.
Went to bed early.
But seriously, this has been the most fun I've had watching the playoffs in a very long time. Every game pretty much has been down to the wire. So it was fun. Just watch sports. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good weekend.
It was a good sports
always
weekend,
a good weekend.
man. Yeah. Some real good games, some nail biters, which we'll actually be getting into talking to here in a second. We have
before we get into the pros, let's get into the pros. Let's start talking about some sports.
Yeah, let's talk about some sports.
Before we get into pros, let's talk about the national championship game last night.
Dude, Fernando Mendoza, dude. Heisman Mendoza cooked.
Ooh, Heisman Mendoza. I like
Heisman Mendoza.
The next number one pick, Raiders quarterback.
Yep. We'll see you moving to Henderson soon.
That man, how can I put this? You know how they say people turn into somebody else once you get in between the lines?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell his personalities on the field and off the field is totally like two different people.
And it's weird.
Two different people.
Because it's like on a baseline, it's the same. But once he's in between those lines, he is significantly more competitive. Like it's the same, G Willikers, gosh darn, golly gee vibe. Because that's exactly who he is. But he's just so competitive. But he always makes it a point to be like, look, we weren't supposed to be here in the first place. We have no 5 stars. We have I think they have 6 4-star recruits on their roster, if that. It's mostly a bunch of 2 and 3-star recruits that just came together and played some real competitive and real complimentary football across the board. But it's crazy to think about. So like I said before, first 16-0 team in over 100 years. It's interesting. It goes all the way back to, I think it was week 1 or week 2 against Penn State, where they only won the game because the receiver, I can't remember his name right now, made an insane toe tap touchdown on the last play of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that play,
they had a couple games this season where it actually,
right.
It was pretty close
between that and the first Ohio State game, where it was back and forth for the most part.
I mean, first Oregon game.
Or first Oregon game,
yes. First Oregon game.
But if Indiana doesn't win versus Penn State, especially because of how Penn State turned out to be this year, because that was awful. If they don't win against Penn State, they're probably not the number 1 team in the country heading into towards the end of the year.
Well, it's college though, so there's no probably about it. They would have been
number 6, going into this.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have had that bye, which I guess for the most part it doesn't matter with the bye. At least since they've moved to this 12 team, because Indiana is the only team to have a bye in the playoffs and win their playoff game. They're the only one.
You got to think though, man. It was they're coached. Every position
is perfect.
Every position coach, they're coached where it's one drum, one sound type deal. You know what I mean? They're all on the same page. We're all in this together.
Right.
They're just coached well. All across the board, they're just really coached well.
Curt Cignetti is the best coach in the country right now. Phenomenal. He turned Indiana, who before this year, they had 6, I think top 25 or top 10 wins in program history. They matched that this year.
Well, I remember,
which is insane.
It's crazy because I remember when he got hired at Indiana.
Right.
And this is the only reason I remember this is because when he did his press conference and he's like,
Google me.
I win. Google me. Dude. And at first I didn't realize who that was until they replayed it, and they replayed it. I was like, oh my God, I remember that press conference.
Yeah.
And that was just 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, I remember that. Google him. He wins.
And he wins. He won at JMU. He turned around JMU into a pretty, he's part of the reason that they became an FBS school. They were Division II when he was, I think, when he first started, and he turned him into, a Division I school. He won when he was in Division III or JUCO when he left Alabama to be the head coach for, I forget the name of the school. I'm gonna be honest, whether it was a Division III or JUCO, and then he just kind of progressed and turned the Indiana Hoosiers into a college football juggernaut.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild how good they got. How quickly they got good.
Right.
But then if you really think about it, how he kind of did it, he didn't need 4 and 5 star recruits.
No,
he didn't need all that. He said, "Look, I need a team."
absolutely.
So he was like looking at players. Like he brought some players over from JMU with him.
Yep,
that really participated and really helped him out. He built a team.
Absolutely.
I don't need to pay somebody $5 million to
come play here. No,
to play. There's players that want to play football.
Right. And I remember seeing too, he did an interview, basically kind of like how did you construct, this roster that's doing so well? This was a handful of weeks ago. And he's like, he said, I wasn't looking for players with potential. I was looking for players that I've seen what they can do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because he's got an old team. He's got older teams.
He's got a lot of like juniors and seniors on that
his
roster.
team is an older squad.
So it's like he wasn't going for guys that like, he was going for some freshmen, but it's like it's more of he wanted players that have proven that they can perform and they can do their job well. That's why guys like it was Elijah Surratt, I think is the wide receiver's name.
The wide receiver, number 13.
Yeah. That he brought in him. He brought in Isaiah Pons, obviously, because from JMU.
Pons is dope.
Pons is crazy. He might be a day one pick, but he's going to be a.
They were like talking about they don't think he's because of his height. He's always had it's like 5'9" or something like that.
So many corners are short, bro. Leave him alone.
This is the thing. That guy's a football player.
Oh, absolutely.
Pons is. Whew.
Pons is crazy. He is super athletic. And
don't throw it on his side of the field.
Absolutely not, because that'll sink in the pond.
That dude.
But
I like that one. I like that one. You've been working on that one. I see.
Nope, that was off the dome.
Bars.
But Curt Cignetti, you just got to show him a lot of respect.
Yeah,
he
can ball. He's a good coach.
He's turned a bottom feeder football program. They've been a basketball program for the last 20 years. And he's turned them into a football school. He's turned them into football and basketball because their basketball team is still really solid.
Still good. Yeah.
But it's like you gotta put respect on him because he has just turned. I mean, there's no precedent for what he's done in Indiana. There's no precedent. There has not been a single guy that has come in to such a low tier program in Division I and has done as much as he has in only 2 seasons. He went from them winning, I think, 8 games their previous 3 years before he got there to winning 27 in the 2 years he's been there.
Look, like I said,
it's Google him.
Good job, Indiana.
Heisman Doza, welcome to Las Vegas.
Let's see if the Raiders mess this up, but we're hoping they don't.
Absolutely, yeah. We love to see players do well. We want them to be in the best position possible, whether that's the Raiders or somewhere else.
But you know what? I can't really talk mess about them because they drafted Genty last year.
Yep.
And that was even still a little controversial because it was the number 6 pick. But Genty had a really good year.
Genty had a good year.
Genty had a really good year for what he was running behind.
Right. I will say if they can fix the offensive line, because realistically, you have Colton Miller and JPJ. That is your offensive line. Start over with everything else.
Yeah. So, but they get Mendoza. He's an accurate passer. So, I mean, they need a quarterback. So,
yeah, for most of that playoff run, he had more passing touchdowns than he had incompletions.
Yeah, which is wild.
He had 8 passing touchdowns heading into the Natty and had 5 incompletions heading into the Natty.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
But, okay, so, yay. That's college football.
That's college ball.
It was a great season.
Absolutely.
Big Ten did their thing again, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But, we won't talk about that.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, because Michigan, Ohio State, and now Indiana.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into. You want to get into some NFL?
Let's get some NFL, man.
Some NFL.
Let's get into some NFL.
Who you want to start with?
Man, I know what team I don't want to start with.
So let's just start with them and get it out the way. Let's get it out the way. Get it out the way.
We lost. We got belt to
and
ass.
I'm not even gonna dig it in. I was telling you on the way here. I was like, man, I was trying to find a Seattle shirt to wear, just because. But
I wouldn't have picked you up.
I don't know. That'd have been.
I would have left you.
That'd have just been messed up.
I would have left you.
That'd have just been messed up.
Yeah, you're not getting in my car.
I'm just saying, man. You can't hate on.
I can't hate on Seattle. I am born and bred to do so.
41-6, man.
I don't care.
Yo,
I hate Seattle.
Look back at last week's episode. I called that.
Whatever.
I did.
I know you did.
Because I was like, I didn't think you guys were gonna go into Seattle and put it on them.
I mean, sure, yes, that is what ended up happening. But
it was a good game.
For fucking who?
Seattle fans.
No, because they lost Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can't clap for
That's
that.
crazy.
No, man, listen.
That's messed
They
up.
were
man.
no,
Clapping for the injuries.
their fans on all social media were
I
talking
know.
so much junk.
They really were.
Don't use injuries as an excuse.
I was talking.
I'm
that
not.
mess.
Look. I actually I like Charbonnet a lot.
Charbonnet's solid.
I like a lot of their players.
Absolutely.
But
K9.
the
Love
whole
K9,
game, I'm
JSN.
like, I just hope we hurt somebody. So now they have to try to go win with injuries, and we'll see what they do. Because I don't
We'll see
think
what
they.
do.
I mean, they have two really good running backs,
Yeah.
so I think they're good still. But against the Rams, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be a good
It's
game.
going to be tough.
It's gonna be a good
K9,
game.
we'll see what he does against LA this next week. But they've got it's a well-rounded roster. And I believe this is Sam Darnold's first playoff win as well, period. Because he didn't win one with Minnesota last year.
It might be.
Because they
It
got
might
the number
be.
one. I think they got the number, or no. They lost to Detroit in week 18 and lost the number one seed and then lost in the wild card round to, I think it was Washington. I don't remember.
Okay.
But-
So look, we don't even have to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know the pain that I'll bring it up again later.
No, I will leave you here.
Let's talk about Buffalo, Denver.
Okay.
Good game.
It was a back and forth game, which shouldn't have been if Josh Allen didn't have 7 turnovers.
Yeah, he had quite a few.
He had like it was like 3 interceptions and like 3 fumbles or something.
quite a few.
I mean, he just couldn't he couldn't keep the ball. And that was the biggest thing. And after the game in the press conference, he was just like,
Just crying.
He
It
was
felt
in
like
tears.
He let his team down.
he's like, I just let him down. And then
Listen.
Deion Dawkins in the locker room was like, he let us down. It's like, to an extent, the offensive line has to take some of that responsibility as well because
Right.
you're letting them annihilate your quarterback every 5 seconds.
yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Well, he probably felt like that because of the pressure put on him by everybody because there was no Mahomes and Jackson
Exactly,
and
yeah.
Burrows and like all the big name quarterbacks weren't there.
Right.
And so for him to lose to a
Bo Nix.
second year quarterback, Bo Nix was solid. Yeah, and I say was because we all know he got hurt. And
Fractured his ankle on the second to last
and so
play
he's
of the game.
he's gone for the rest of the playoffs, which
I feel so bad,
that's
man.
terrible because
That's the worst.
Denver had a shot.
Denver, honestly,
Had a shot.
they really did. I think they had a real shot to beat New England this next week.
Well,
up until
I
then.
don't, but
With Bo Nix?
with Bo Nix, they had a real shot
You
to
didn't, you
beat
didn't think they did with Bo Nix in Denver?
in Denver.
no.
Really?
No. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm rolling with New
I know
England.
you're rolling with Drizzy Drake.
Rolling with Drizzy.
Well, hey, congratulations on the Patriots on making it to the Super Bowl.
No, we'll get there. Yeah, for real, for real. Which is crazy because Quan last week was like, man, I just don't want them to be good again.
Here we
I just
are.
do not want them to be good again.
Here we are.
And then now what happened?
And
Bo
you know-
Nix breaks his ankle.
Yep.
I have to pray that Stidham has the
Nick
next
Foles.
2 games of his career.
Has the
Because
testicular fortitude.
That's the only team I won't be almost suicidal at if they win the Super Bowl.
Denver.
Yeah, I like Denver.
You can't hate
I
Denver.
like Denver.
You can't hate 'em.
But
You
I
can't hate
hate
Denver.
the other 3 teams in the playoffs.
In the
still.
playoffs.
I can't stand Seattle or LA. New England, I hated Tom Brady, New England.
No.
Drake
They're
May,
the
I do
same.
like. So
I like
I'm
Drake
like,
May.
Still New England. Their fan. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to hear from their fans again
oh,
Who's
I'm well
fans?
aware.
New England
New
fans?
England.
Oh yeah, they're gonna pop out the woodwork
because they have not
they're-
existed. They don't realize that
they're already looking behind the trees now
Yeah.
just to like pop their head out. Let them make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have
Full blown.
not been seen since Tom Brady left.
When's the last time you seen somebody wear a New England jersey? You can.
I actually see it more often than
Well,
you
that's
think.
because of where you work, probably. But
Yeah. I see
yeah,
it all
those
the time.
people aren't. They're not around, but they're about to be if they make it to the Super Bowl. And like you said, don't let them win. But I feel like the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going with because I like Stafford. I'm really going with LA.
I really,
I feel like the
I'm
Rams.
gonna be rooting for New England in the Super Bowl.
Really?
If
they get there, hey, you'll be surprised. You never know.
Sure. You know what?
You
Nick
never know.
Foles beat Tom Brady. Yes, that is something that happened. However, I have seen Jarrett Stidham play. Now, I'm not saying I can do better than Jarrett Stidham because I know for damn sure I cannot because I will noodle arm the shit out of that football
I don't
game.
know that.
You think I could do better than Jarrett
Possibly.
Stidham
I think
at
so.
quarterback?
I think he is by
It's that
far.
bad?
He's by far the worst backup in the league. And I didn't even know he was their backup until Bo Nix got hurt. I looked it up. I'm like, how? I didn't know he was still in the league.
Yeah,
he's only in the league because he's a future quarterback coach or something. That's like when Peterman. That's like when Peterman was still in the league for a long time.
Yeah, Nathan Peterman is a crazy example. Just because,
but he's bad. Stidham is horrible.
Stidham is not a good quarterback. That is why he's the backup. Peterman was the worst quarterback ever. He was throwing 5 interceptions in a half.
Stidham is bad.
I mean, I know we saw CJ Stroud do that this week, but like we ain't
even got to that game.
We ain't got to that game yet. But
we actually
OH
stop.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Yeah. When I saw Stidham was back up, I'm like, first of all, why Denver kind of has an ego to not get a better backup quarterback. There's a lot of really good backup quarterbacks in the league.
Jameis Winston
could have been there.
I would love
there's
Jameis
so
Winston.
many other people they could have had.
Yeah.
So I was shocked that such a good team has such a bad backup.
Yeah. I mean, because I'll say this. I have seen him play. I have seen him do poorly. He has I think 1 passing touchdown to like 3 interceptions the last time he played or something like that. Something around there.
I'll just tell you this.
But
I feel like Denver.
Yep.
To lose that game in overtime.
Yep.
And lose your quarterback
would have been the most.
No, they won. What am I talking about?
They won.
They won. But to win that game
and then lose your quarterback.
When there was like 2 plays left.
The second to last play.
To the last play. To a fractured ankle.
Yep. If it was like a hamstring or like maybe a high ankle sprain, he would have played through it.
Oh,
he wouldn't have given a shit.
But
broken ankle,
which is crazy because you see him walking around after, and then you don't hear that he's out until like an hour or 2 after the game.
Yeah, so it's probably like a slight fracture, but he had to have surgery on it.
Yeah, so dang, that sucks. Sorry, Denver.
I feel bad for Denver.
You were almost there.
A real shot.
Yeah, you guys had a real shot.
And as much as I don't want to rule you guys out,
they're out.
I'm sorry.
Let's be real.
Yeah, sorry. Was it because Paul is a Bronco fan, right? So sorry, Paul.
Was that interception
yes.
or was he down?
It was an interception.
He was down.
It was an interception.
It was not. Come on.
I've watched that play so many times.
Come on. It was not an interception.
It was out of Brandon Cook's hands before it hit the ground.
He landed on the ground. They rolled, and the dude happened to come up with the ball, but he caught it.
Brandon Cooks never had possession. He never had possession.
I'm just mad. We've seen very obvious calls take 5 minutes for them to review.
Yeah.
And they didn't even review it.
This took 20 seconds for them just to say, oh, it was
interception.
It was a pick, but we can debate that.
It was not
we can
a
debate
pick.
that all night. We can debate that
the fact that it's such a debate around all media platforms, around a whole bunch of NFL people, and the fact that they only looked at it for 5 seconds is very weird to me in a game like that.
I will agree.
That was very weird to me.
I will agree. But no, my thing is just like I when I was watching, because I watched that clip 100 times. I watched slow-mo picks. I watched everything.
It was not a pick.
Brandon Cooks never had possession
of
that football.
He had possession.
No, it was bobbling the whole time.
Oh, my Lord.
It was literally...
Come on.
Nah.
It was not a pick.
We can debate that all night, but nah, we got other games to talk about.
All right.
We got other games to talk about.
Let's go on to...
Let's go on to Houston, New England.
Ooh, Drizzy
Drake.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I knew New England's defense was like that.
Yep.
But I didn't know they were like that. Yeah. Man, they
were putting pressure on CJ,
They put
bro.
that
Granted,
dang on them.
I will say, part of that is due to the fact that, like, right before the game, it was...
lost 2 of his...
what was it? Dwayne Brown, or what was it?
I can't remember their names. It was his starting...
it was the former Patriots / Raiders tackle. I cannot remember his name.
So he lost a tackle and a guard?
Yeah. Like, that's part of it.
Part of it.
But it's also, CJ, you threw 5 picks. I think you lost
4 in the first half.
Yeah, he lost like 2 or 3 fumbles. Like, what are we doing?
He doesn't know how to take a sack.
2 of those picks...
He doesn't want to turn into Joe Burrow. 2
of those picks weren't his fault. Went through the hands, bounced off the dude's chest. 2 of them.
Yeah.
The other 2, why are you even throwing the ball?
That's
like...
There were so many times this weekend, too, where whether it's college or NFL, like, I've seen these quarterbacks throwing it into, like, triple coverage. And I'm like, that's like the one thing you're not supposed to do. What are we doing?
Listen, it's to the point where they're like, man, we can't start this guy. Because what did I hear him say? CJ Stroud is chasing his rookie season. The past 2 seasons, he's regressed.
I just saw somebody say that Carolina actually did make the right pick.
Taking Bryce?
That's wild to think that. I mean, bro, Bryce had a really good year.
He had an up and down year. There was weeks where was weeks where he was playing MVP level, and then there was weeks where he was Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, he got benched during the season
Last year.
Oh, he got benched this year.
That was last
year.
Was
it last year?
That was last year. Because they were on like a 4-game losing streak. He was throwing 2 picks every week.
That's why I feel like that's wild to say. But if you really think about it, CJ is chasing his rookie season.
He is. And I think part of it is like they had a half decent offensive line his rookie year. And then they've done nothing to improve it since then. It's significantly gotten worse. They've just picked up random guys off the street. What was it Cam Robinson they picked up? Trent Brown. That's the guy's name I'm thinking of. Trent Brown.
He said,
finally. Oh
it
my
popped
God.
in your head right then.
Yes, because I'm sitting. That happens way too fucking much. I'm over it. Where I can't think of it, and then it just is there. And they're picking up these guys that have shown that they are not great tackles. They have shown it. We've seen it with Trent Brown when he was with the Raiders, when he was with Cincinnati. Because, I mean, first of all, why are you picking up a former Cincinnati Bengals offensive lineman? But that's besides the point.
Well, if you really look at
good since New England.
If you look at the draft the past couple years, it's been less and less of them picking up tackles and guards. So it's kind of almost like what they really been doing is rotating. You'll release a guard, we'll pick him up.
Right.
You'll release a tackle, we'll pick him up. We'll release, you'll pick up.
Yeah.
Where there's no new development.
Yeah, I will say the exception to that being this past year, because there was, I think, like 4 tackles taken in the first round. Your Washington Commanders took one of them.
Yeah, but
Josh Connerly.
If you still go over the past couple years, it's been less and less. You got to think.
Yeah.
If you go, let's say, 5 to 10 seasons ago, tackles were
dime a dozen.
No, they weren't a dime a dozen, but they were like
they were flying
the golden gooses.
Yeah, they were flying. You know, off the board.
You get you a good tackle, you get 2 tackles, 3 tackles taken in the first 10.
Yeah, but I think part of it too is we've also seen a lot of teams over the last handful of years that have taken tackles or offensive linemen early because they needed it, not necessarily because the player was the right pick. We saw it with Evan Neal for the Giants. I think is the best example of this because he was a really solid tackle at Alabama. He had his flaws, but he was solid. But those flaws got enhanced in the NFL. He turned into a complete train wreck at tackle. They moved him into guard, and honestly, he was worse.
Well, I don't know.
Not saying I can do better because I'm also not that big. And I don't plan on being that big.
You hear that, ladies? He ain't that big.
Shut the fuck up. No, you did not just say that. That's crazy.
What he said. I don't know.
That's crazy. I'm not 350 pounds. Let me.
You're not that girthy.
I'm not that. Shut the.
He almost
Slim
said.
You almost got
He
me.
almost said.
Slim Biggins. That's what he said.
Okay. All right.
That's what he said,
all right.
ladies.
No, I guess that's what we're doing today. Apparently, damn. All right.
No.
All right.
But
no, that's fine. No,
so
fine.
New England.
Congrats on the Super Bowl.
Congrats on the win, man. Congrats on the win. I had faith in you the whole time.
I was there with. Or actually, no. I picked Houston.
I didn't think. You guys played a lot better than I thought you were going to play because I thought Houston's defense was going to be able to.
And I will say
push around New England's offensive line a lot, but
their defense did good though.
Their defense did okay, but they didn't do like they normally do.
Houston's defense.
Think about it. They didn't do like they normally do
because they were on the field back to back.
They were on the field a lot.
Yeah.
But part of it too, even then, I think Houston's defense still had like 3 or 4 sacks. They had a dozen pressures on Drake May. He still threw 2 picks in that game, 3 picks in that game, something like that. He threw a couple.
Yeah, Drake wasn't great.
No, he was
Drake
okay.
didn't look good.
He honestly didn't look that great.
Yeah.
Houston's defense did what it needed to do. It was creating turnovers. It was creating pressure. The offense let them down.
I don't know. First play of the game was a pick 6.
We've seen that before.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "What? We see how this game's gonna go."
Yeah, no, that's what I was watching the Indiana-Oregon game. It was the same thing. Same thing. First play, pick 6.
Pick 6, yeah.
And then Oregon got
that made
belt to ass.
that made Dante Moore say, "I'm not coming out."
I'm not going to the Jets.
I'm not going to the league yet.
He went right back.
He said, nah, I'm good.
no.
I'll stay another year.
Can we talk about the weather for Sunday's games, though? That felt like football.
Right.
Bro, that was...
It was rain, and then the next game is snow. Like, that felt like football.
That felt
as
like
opposed
football.
to these indoor games or the loud Seattle 12th man.
Right.
It looked.
It felt good.
It
Watching
felt
those
like-
games.
It felt like football.
It looked really nice.
I love watching the snow games, especially when it's like deep snow. You know what I mean? I'm talking like Shady McCoy, Buffalo, deep snow.
You know, and the crazy thing is, it's a good game
right.
with whether it's the game, the weather, whenever, when you're watching it and you're just like, damn, I wish I was there.
Right.
Man,
I would love
there was
to be
not
there.
a game I did not want to be at.
Right.
Like,
Well, there was one.
no, not even.
For me.
Well,
We're not going to talk about that, but there was one.
you keep bringing it up. But I'll bring it up this. Which one? The Niner game?
I don't want to talk about it.
But you know, it's so funny because I follow people and some of them are Niner fans and
Yep.
they went to the game, but even though they lost, everybody was still happy that they went to support.
Right. Well, because
Everybody was still, and if you're a fan of a team, and I know you're just joking around and stuff,
Yeah.
so, but you know, anytime my team's anywhere, I want to be there if I can be, because that's
Right.
dope. That is, whether we lose and then you got to talk some shit after, and I got to talk some shit to you, tell you to shut up. It's
Right.
whatever.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Because
Yeah.
you're always still going to support your squad.
Absolutely.
You're always going to support
I
your
will
squad.
always support my 49ers. And honestly, even though we didn't go to or win the Super Bowl, which is unfortunate,
Is it?
it is.
Oh yeah,
I
because
would've
that could have been a home game for you guys.
It would have been a home game. I'm still very content with the season, considering all the injuries we had. Considering basically not having a defense most of this year because we just kept rotating defensive linemen and linebackers every 5 minutes. Not having George Kittle for a few weeks and then him tearing his ACL last week. Trent Williams missing some time. Ricky Pearsall missing time. Brock Purdy missing 8 games.
Name all the injuries.
Despite all of that, we still won 12 games. We were
That's
still
true. You guys still had a good season.
one game off
Thanks
of the
to
number 1
Mac
seed.
Jones.
We still beat the defending Super Bowl champions in their home stadium. And
There you go.
honestly, despite the belt to ass whooping, I'm just gonna be frank about it. It was an ass whooping.
Ooh, it
Despite
was.
that, we had a great season. I'm excited for next year. I'm excited for Brock to be healthy. I'm excited for George Kittle to be healthy. Nick Bosa, all these guys. I'm excited for Fred Warner, who's basically back already. I mean, he was almost playing this week, but
Are you done with the whole Niners thing?
We might not get Kittle back till like close to the playoffs, though.
yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's
There's somebody who didn't want to talk about it.
I
sure
gave
spent the
myself
last
one.
10 minutes
I gave myself one.
talking about
I gave myself
how
one rant.
You named every injury.
Yep.
Every. It's your time, bro. It's your time. You got anything else to say about the Niners?
It's in my heart.
Let it out then. Let it out.
Bye, Salah.
Yeah, bye Robert Saleh.
We get a draft pick for him
We'll get like a comp pick, like 4th or 5th round, probably. Maybe
too
3rd
bad.
round. Maybe 3rd round.
because we draft good in later rounds.
Yeah, we draft good.
Hmm.
Case
we
in
go.
point. You know,
Okay.
like half the guys I just mentioned. But
And then we'll get a good trade for Mac Jones.
yeah, I've been seeing some crazy trades. Well, we can talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. On to next year. On to draft season.
Okay. Hey, man. Listen, it's your time. You take the camera off of me. Put it on Caleb.
No, season's over. What are you talking about?
Season's
The
over.
season's over.
I mean, I'm just
his was-
saying.
You know, it's because his was over a while ago.
Damn.
So
Yeah, he don't remember.
he doesn't. It's okay. He needed to. But
Listen.
hey, we still got one more
That's
playoff
messed
game.
up,
We still
man.
got one more playoff game.
We do. Chicago.
Chicago, man, I want to be 100% honest. That throw that Caleb Williams made,
Oh, the one when he ran like 50
Ridiculous.
yards back.
they were on the 26 yard line. He ran back 14 yards. Or I might have that reverse. I think they were on the 14. He ran back 26 to make it to the 40. And threw it nearly 50 yards because he was about 7-8 yards deep in the end
Bro.
zone across the body.
The
and
throw?
tiptoe- crazy.
When he threw it, I was like, oh, he's just like,
He's just
I
chucking
thought
it.
he was just like, just dunking, diving it. That ball.
Sword.
And he threw it off his back foot.
Yeah.
Wild.
It was crazy.
Wild.
It was crazy. And
Listen.
I love it.
Caleb
Hey,
Williams.
respect.
Yeah, man, that was. I mean, y'all lost.
Hey, it's okay though. It's okay though. You guys had a great year. Number 2 seed in the NFC. You guys have a great foundation for next year.
Overtime game.
Overtime game against one of the better teams in football right now. You made it to the Final Four. I think in your first season with a new head coach, with a new system, with everything like that, you are very happy. You won the North. And I will say, when the GM of the Bears, Ryan Poles, was hired, he said, we're going to take the North and never give it back. They took it this year.
Chicago's a legit squad.
They got some dogs.
Legit squad. They're going to tighten up that defense a little bit. Yep. Probably maybe
bring in some more pass rush.
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
They need to work on a couple offensive linemen.
Yep.
They got good receivers.
Actually, no, they don't need any offensive linemen.
They got good receivers.
They've got good offensive linemen.
Good running backs.
Yeah. I think they just need to add maybe one more wide receiver. Just make that a very solid receiving core between, DJ Moore, Colston Loveland, Roma Dunze. Got DeAndre Swift out the backfield, Kyle Monangai, Kyle Monangai,
bald.
Dog.
Bald.
He was honestly, I know DeAndre Swift had a great year. Kyle Monangai was a UDFA out of Rutgers, balled out this year.
He was, and he got better. Year. He got better, a lot better as the year went.
Yeah.
As the year went. Yeah. He got a lot better.
Yeah. And there was a couple weeks where DeAndre Swift was hurt and Monangai had to take over the starting role. And he looked amazing as the starter. He looked phenomenal.
Chicago, you guys are in good hands, man.
You guys are in
good hands, for real.
You
guys are really in good hands.
Yeah,
man, this week I know it's like trying to catch your breath from the weekend that we just had,
right? Because I was busy with all the football and then all the other stuff I was doing.
You went to the hockey game, the football, trying to
watch some football. Yeah, it was a fun weekend.
Okay, so those were the games. Let's talk about coachings.
Yeah, let's talk about some coaches.
Let's talk about some coaches.
Shout out to the Dolphins for hiring Jeff Hafley, DC of the Packers. I honestly do like him as a coach. I think I understand why they hired a defensive-minded head coach, because you've went the offensive route with Mike McDaniel, which obviously didn't work out with Tua. So I like that.
You think Tua's gone from there?
Maybe not this year because there's a lot of dead money, but after this upcoming year,
that guy so much money.
That he's owed like
$50 million. He's gonna pay like $50 million next year.
No, I think his cap hit's like 80.
Dude, they gotta pay that guy so much money. I ain't mad at him.
They owe him like 125 or something.
Boy, these guys are wild.
Yeah, and it's honestly it's not Tua's fault.
No, not at all. Get your money.
It's more so Mike McDaniel made an average to below average quarterback look like an MVP caliber candidate. That 2023 year, they dropped 70 points on the Broncos, which, can we talk about that for a second? Because the Broncos always have a great defense. And that was, I believe that was the year that Surtain won DPOY. Or was that this last year?
That was this last year.
That was this last year.
This ain't college. They dropping 70 points.
They dropped a 70 burger. This isn't Ohio State against Weber State. This is
right.
This is the NFL. This is
the Dolphins.
This is the Dolphins, who honestly, again, that year, they had, I think, the number 1 offense in football that year, or number 2 offense in football that year. They went to the playoffs, were honestly pretty close in that playoff
That
game.
was Tyreek Hill's first year there. 23.
It was either his first or his second year there.
First year there.
Playing in Kansas City in a really cold game where it was honestly almost not played, if I remember correctly. They almost didn't play it because it was nearing dangerous temperatures, which is crazy. They had a great year that year. So I understand, and it obviously didn't work out after that. I understand going with Jeff Hafley. I think he's going to fix that defense really well, because we saw what he did at Boston College. He made them he didn't do a Kurt Signetti thing where he turned him into a national championship competitor, but he turned them into a winning football program. Every year he was there, they won more. They had a above 500 record. They were winning 7-5, 8-4, these kind of games.
Well, like I said, it's always a good pick until it's not. It's always a good fit until it's not.
Right.
And so that's
I love Jeff Hafley for the Dolphins.
That's Dolphins.
Yep.
We already know Harbaugh is a Giant.
Yep. I do really like that for the Giants.
Do you?
I do really, because here's the thing. I also like it because he's going to be bringing in Todd Monken for his offensive coordinator. He's bringing him along with him. I like that for a few reasons. First of all, you have John Harbaugh. Yes, he's not going to focus on the offense. He's not going to focus on the defense. He's going to focus on creating a winning culture. That is what his job is. He's going to, make sure that you guys are motivated and basically ready to run through a brick wall and basically become Cam Scatterbo, essentially. In that sense.
Yeah.
And I really do like that. I think that's going to be great for Jackson Dart. I think Todd Monken is going to be great for Jackson Dart as well, because we saw, for the most part of his tenure with the Ravens, turning Lamar Jackson into what he turned Lamar Jackson into. Obviously, him with like Derrick Henry didn't work out
right
with towards the end of it. But I do really like that for Jackson Dart's development. I think it's going to work out really well, or at least I hope it does. I'm very excited to see how that turns out. But I do like John Harbaugh to the Giants.
I like that fact. Harbaugh, I feel like, will be able to calm Jackson Dart down. You know what I mean? Because besides the athletic quarterback that he is, he can throw that ball.
He's got a
really great arm. And he's accurate.
He's pretty darn
accurate. He throws a really good deep ball, and he's accurate. So if he can get somebody to hone that in, and I think Harbaugh will be able to do that for him, as far as just, look, you're coming from Lamar Jackson, and you see what he turned Lamar Jackson into.
Right.
Because when Lamar Jackson, we all know, came into the league, Lamar Jackson couldn't throw the ball worth anything. All he did was run.
Yeah, he was running.
He looked to run first.
Yeah.
And you see what he's turned into now, where he's a passer. He's a pocket passer.
Yeah, he threw, I think 1 year he had just under 5,000 passing yards.
So if he can just calm Jackson Dart down a little bit.
Right.
I think, oh man, the Giants, and they're in Washington's division, and I hate to say it, but the Giants they'll come up for real.
Absolutely.
I saw a stat talking about all their one possession games. If they would have went the other way, they would have won the division.
Yep.
That's how close the Giants were this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of those games, like Denver, they almost beat them. They should have beat them. And Denver ended up having a huge comeback at the end.
Right.
They beat the Eagles once. They
put belt
almost beat the Cowboys in overtime that game.
Yeah, that game was crazy.
There were so many super close games.
Right.
That now if you get a coach like that with experience with Dart, with Scatterboo, Neighbors will be back.
Yeah, because when you look back at all those games, there was like, man, if that one play, we would have just flipped
Detroit,
or did
Detroit
that
game.
So now you'll get a coach that will be able to work all that.
Yeah. The only issue I have with this hire, there's literally one issue I have with it. Outside of like he focuses on neither side of the ball. One of the biggest issues with the Ravens the last few years is they led the league. I can't remember where I saw this statistic, but over the last 5 years, they lead the league in allowing fourth quarter comebacks. They led the league over the last 5 years. They let up, I think 17, I think was the number I saw. Fourth quarter comebacks over the last roughly 5 years. That's the only issue I have.
Who's the Giants DC?
Nothing yet.
Because what I'll tell you this, the Giants defense
is ridiculous. They got some
dogs on that defense.
It's really the defensive line. That's the big thing.
So I feel like if they, obviously there probably needs a couple of this, a couple of that, but
right.
I just feel like Harbaugh, they'll be able to calm that organization down and put people where they need to be put and do what they need to do. They'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's going to happen next season.
Right.
But I'll give it 2 seasons.
Right. I think they could win 7-ish games.
Because you just signed a 5-year contract, but the way they go, man, they'll fire you after 1. So
right.
But I don't see Harbaugh getting fired.
No, Harbaugh, you got to respect him to an extent.
So
look how long they kept Daboll though. Brian Daboll was there for a long time. Every year we thought he was going to get fired.
But it was because of his first year. He overachieved in his first year with Daniel Jones, and that's why. I really do think Daboll was not the entire problem. There was some issues with Daboll when it came to just allowing, certain comebacks like we saw with some of these games. And some of the play calling was kind of 50-50, but we knew what Daboll could do with the right pieces. He just never really had the right pieces.
The right pieces to do it, yeah.
Because we saw what he did with Josh Allen back in Buffalo. He turned Josh Allen into what Josh Allen is right now. That is Brian Daboll. That is exactly who he is.
You think he's going back?
If Joe Brady gets a job somewhere else, I could see him going to Buffalo. I could see, you know what? Actually, I could see him becoming the head coach over at Buffalo.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
he's going back to Buffalo.
Exactly. I could actually see that because you bring him back in, you put him back with Josh Allen, you add,
well, you didn't even talk about that yet.
Oh yeah, so
you talk about them firing their coach.
True.
McDermott
and promoting their
Brandon Beane.
Yeah, McDermott gone from Buffalo.
McDermott. Now,
that was, to me, I ain't gonna lie, I would say I was almost shocked, but since ever since Harbaugh got fired, I just assume everybody's on the table. Like,
and that's the truth.
I wasn't expecting it.
That's
and they did it pretty swiftly. They didn't waste no time.
Less than 24 hours.
So that almost tells you it was talked about beforehand.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It was talked about like, hey, if we lose this game, if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, we're firing him. I think that was talked about before they even got to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If we don't make it to the Super Bowl, as soon as they realized there was no Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrows, this is our year, because that's all you heard from the insiders and everybody else. Buffalo, oh, this is their year, this is their year, this is their year. And I bet you it was talked about between the ownership and the GM or whoever else. If we don't make the Super Bowl, we're going to go in a different direction, because it literally happened the next morning.
Yeah, it was,
or in the middle of the night.
I think it was the next day. Yeah, and I will say this: I think Sean McDermott is a good coach. I think part of the issue now, some of his play calling was a little, kind of 50-50. He allowed a lot of games to become close that shouldn't have been, but he was also rocking with a really weak roster for the most part in Buffalo this year, at least. Just because outside of Josh Allen, they didn't have Ed Oliver for most of the year on defense, which was a huge, huge blow to their defense. And a lot of the guys that they had on either side of the ball were either guys that were just on practice squad or like kind of in a similar situation with some of these teams, whether it's the Niners or Washington or anything like that, where they were throwing guys together. With Buffalo specifically, it was a lot of veterans that are definitely past their prime. Whether it's Matt Milano coming back from injury, whether it's Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer, whether it's any of these boys, they're bringing guys to play well above what they should be in their current, career cycle. And he made it work. The only thing I think the biggest thing that ended up probably solidifying the firing outside of losing the game to Denver, like outside of that, was the whole Darius Slay thing. Bringing in, because here's the thing,
picking him up, and then
they had to
Darius Slay was like, I'm good.
Right. I think, but part of it too is in order to pick up Darius Slay, there was a guy on the roster whose name I can't remember right now that McDermott had actually turned into a solid player, like a solid rotational piece.
They had to release
him to make that roster spot, and I think he got picked up somewhere else. I think that was also a big thing because, McDermott developed him. McDermott was working with him, was really, and he was turning into a really solid starting
But they were even saying,
player.
Where did I hear this from? I think I heard this from Stephen A. talking about how they use McDermott as a scapegoat.
A little bit.
For, like you said, he had a really weak roster.
For Brandon.
He doesn't get to say, okay, I'm going to pick up Slay, but we got to drop this guy. That's a GM.
Right.
But it's just, if you really think about it, you got to know this was talked about before the playoffs even started. If we don't make the Super Bowl, not even if we don't win the Super Bowl, if we don't make the Super Bowl,
right,
he's gone. And so, but like you said, he's a good coach. I know he'll get picked back up.
Absolutely.
But it just depends. So let's talk about, we already talked. Did we talk about your boy?
We didn't talk about him.
Let's talk about him.
Robert Saleh, new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Happened at
we were talking about this on the way here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love Robert Saleh. I love Robert Saleh. He's a great coach. He's a player's coach. That is who he is. He gets guys to perform. He gets guys to play well above.
Yeah, you see what he did with that defense you guys had.
Right.
That was like that thing was glued together.
It was hopes, dreams, good vibes, and a hacky sack circle is the exact words I used before. That's exactly what that defense was after all the injuries we've had. And he turned it into, honestly, a serviceable defense.
Okay.
Like, it was not special, but like it was a solid defense for what we had.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
He's been hired.
Yep.
We see he's been hired. What do you think he needs in Tennessee to be successful?
He needs the right OC. That is the biggest thing. If you can hire the right guy to basically develop Cam Ward for you, that is who you need to bring in. You need to bring in some sort of quarterback whisperer, which could have been Mike McDaniel. However, he's going to the Chargers.
Possibly.
It's not most likely. It's not 100%. It's like 95+% is what we're looking at right now. It could have been Mike McDaniel. That's probably not going to happen. Whether it's him going to the Chargers or somewhere else. I think he could bring in Brian Dable as a potential offensive
You know what I
coordinator,
think?
which I think would be fantastic.
I think he should find somebody in the college ranks. I don't think he should go for one of these ex-head coaches, to be honest with you. I think he should bring an OC from college
Okay.
that is young. And I only say this because think about this. Cam Ward is young.
Yep.
You need somebody that's going to be able to they don't have to be on his level, but you've got to kind of melt and gel with him.
Yep.
If you bring in one of these head coaches that got fired and now are going to be an OC, to me, I don't think that's going to work. I say you find somebody that's had a successful run in the college ranks as an OC
Yep.
and pull them up.
Yep.
Because if they're going to be more innovative and more, I don't want to say talented, but I'll just stick with innovative. I feel like they'll be more innovative.
Maybe a little bit hungrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that position.
I can see that. So when you say that, there's two names that immediately come to mind.
Okay.
One of them being college, one of them not being college.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about the not college first. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
He obviously, between him and Brian Dable, we saw what they did in Buffalo. He was also the offensive coordinator for the 2019 LSU Tigers when Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards, all these boys. And he granted, you have all that talent. It's really hard not to do good.
Right.
It's really hard. You'd have to try to do bad.
Right.
But and Joe Burrow was not some special quarterback heading into that year at LSU. He was backup at Ohio State, transferred, played okay his first year at LSU, and then turned into Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So I like that as a potential hire for him. I think that would be really solid.
Right.
But if we're going to go with college, now you're not going to like the name because of the name. Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator for the Indiana Hoosiers. Look what he did with Fernando Mendoza, who's a solid player, but he's not one of the top quarterbacks.
Turned him into the top quarterback.
Turned him. We have all those receivers with Elijah Surratt and Charlie Becker, who balled out the second half of the year. Charlie Becker,
two solid running backs, though. Indiana had two solid running backs.
The running backs were
Hempy
solid.
and Baker? Not
Black.
Baker. Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two solid running backs. I like that, the OC. Okay.
I really think him. I think if you want to go with the college route, I think that's the name you target. I don't think you're going to be able to get him. I think he's going to stay in Indiana just to continue to develop.
But see, that's the thing.
Cignetti.
College is so big and so vast.
It is.
You can look. But I would honestly, that would be my decision. I would tell him, find you an OC in the college ranks, bring him up. Because, you got to find somebody with some talent. There's talent. There's so many talented people. There's so many talented offenses in college that, I just feel like that'd be a great shot for him.
Yeah.
I think he'd be successful that way.
Or honestly, too, you know what? The offensive coordinator for Miami, I know that I'm just talking about the guys that were in the Natty, but he turned Carson Beck, who again, Carson Beck was solid at Georgia, but he had a phenomenal roster around him and was honestly kind of like, he wasn't bad with Miami. He was decent. He was solid. He was solid.
Miami, they made the national championship. They had a solid squad.
They got a solid squad.
They definitely had a solid squad. Their offense was legit.
That running back was fantastic. That Miami running back.
You got to think, I forget his name, but the running back and the receiver.
Malachi Tony, I think, is the receiver.
Tony is, yes. Yeah.
Malachi Tony is the receiver.
Legit, number 10. Legit.
The running back whose name I can't think of. But he was also really solid. He had that 60-yard house call.
Yeah, they have a solid offense.
Right.
So, and he's only a freshman.
Right.
That is only a freshman.
Right.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And he's already said, I'm staying with Miami. So he will not be in the portal.
Right.
All right. He's already said, I'm staying here. So that's going to be pretty dope.
Like, this is my team now. Yeah.
Okay. So that's solid.
Talk about Saleh. Talked about Jeff Hafley. Kevin Stefanski. Atlanta Falcons. I love this hire.
You might be the only one that loves this hire.
That's fine. I don't care. That's
you might be the only one that I've been hearing so many people talking so much trash. Like, I watched DC. Was it DC Young Fly? I think it was DC Young Fly going this 10-minute rant about what the hell was it? What is Atlanta thinking?
No, I really do like this hire. Biggest reason because we saw what he did in Cleveland with the largely lack of a supporting cast that he had his entire time there, which that's a GM issue for the most part. Like we talked about with the same thing with Buffalo. Andrew Berry, most of these, this draft that they just had was a great draft between Carson Schweissinger, Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Shador. Dylan Gabriel wasn't even like awful. He wasn't good, but he wasn't awful. Like they had a lot of Mason Graham who, performed pretty well, not quite 100%, but he performed pretty well. Like that was a great draft. Outside of that, it's been a bad like year in, year out drafting.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You're Stefanski. You are now the Atlanta coach.
Yep.
Who's your starting quarterback?
Good question.
It got quiet real quick.
Good question.
You like the hire. Who's your starting quarterback? Is it Kirk O'Chains?
I would say start Kirk for now. Because part of the two, I believe Penix is still injured. I think he had an injury.
Okay, so let's say they're both healthy. Who's your starting quarterback?
I would
because you can't just start Penix just because the other guy started Penix.
Right. I think I would still start Kirk right now because I think Penix still needs a little more time.
Yeah, because I don't think
I don't think it's a lot. Maybe one season.
Penix is good.
I
feel like he's just not. He ain't Kirk
right now. I think he can become and exceed, but not yet.
Atlanta's offense,
they've got some dogs.
You need a quarterback back there that can. And Kirk can still throw the ball.
Yeah, he can still throw.
He's still got an arm, so it's not like his arm hasn't gotten trash.
No,
he had a couple bad games, and next thing you know, Penix is the starter. But Penix didn't do anything that was like, oh yeah, that's the guy.
Right.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything that's like that's the man right there.
Right.
So I would start Kirk.
I would start Kirk as well. I think we saw what he was able to get out of guys like Baker Mayfield, who at the time was not like who Baker Mayfield is now. And honestly, Baker Mayfield kind of took a slump this year, a little bit, losing out, Liam Cohen and everything like that, which is why the Bucs fired their offensive coordinator at the end of the year. But I really do think that Stefanski, and even with like Stefanski getting out of that age of Baker with that version of Deshaun Watson, who honestly was awful, but it was bad, but he got something out of him. He threw a few touchdowns. I think he had more touchdowns than interceptions, so you can correct me if you want to. Got what he got out of Dylan Gabriel, who was okay for a few games.
Yeah,
he had a couple good games. And then a 300-yard game out of a 5th-round rookie in Shedeur Sanders. You got a lot out of effectively nothing. You had Jacoby Brissett at one point, who at the time, not anything special. You had Jameis Winston, who not a bad backup and like a serviceable couple games starter.
Listen,
but not a long-term guy.
Jameis.
I love Jameis.
I love Jameis.
I want Jameis to be a caster as soon as he retires. I want that immediately. I love his personality. I love his vibe. Imagine him on the casting, calling these games. He would say some random thing that wouldn't make any sense, and we'd be like, yes, perfect, amazing.
I love Jameis Winston.
I love Jameis Winston. Jameis, come on the show. But
Jameis, if you're watching, we got to see for you.
We got to see right here for you. But no, I love Jameis Winston. So I think if Stefanski this is probably the best offensive roster that Stefanski's had since OBJ, Landry, Nick Chubb.
Okay.
That's right. Because the rest of those years in Cleveland were complete dog water.
So do you have faith in Stefanski going to this team thinking he can turn them around to become a playoff team?
Yes.
And so just yes. The whatever I'm about to say, just yes. Okay.
I think he can turn them into a perennial playoff team because they were only one game out of the playoffs with Raheem Morris as their head coach. And Raheem Morris has about the worst clock management I've ever seen from a head coach because that was awful for so many games where they could have won. First of all, you lost to the Jets. That's already
that right there says it.
That right there is like you lost to a team that didn't have an interception all year, coached by a guy who used to do that for his job. That was his job in the NFL.
Yeah,
I think Stefanski can immediately boost that offense from floor to.
That's why I say next season is going to be so dope.
He's
all the changes. And it's funny because normally, like, I'll put it to you like in basketball when you got all these trades when it comes to close to the trade deadline.
Yep.
And that's when all the trades going. You're like, oh, I can't wait for the second half of the season's about to be so dope because all these trades he's going to be playing on this team, he's going to be playing on that game. This season for football, we've never seen this many coaching vacancies at 9.
This 10 total. The last time this happened was not even that long ago, actually.
Like, I'm excited for the season just to see what these coaches are going to do.
Right, that part.
With all these new things.
That part.
Okay.
I love the hire by Atlanta. I actually really like that they brought in Matt Ryan to kind of like help.
So,
this.
Matt Ryan got hired as their
president of football.
Okay.
President of football.
I was like, yeah, he's not the GM. He's president
he's better. He's gonna be getting the next GM.
Okay. I like it.
And I like that
somebody was mad about that.
Which is crazy. Why would you be mad about that?
Oh, DCM, so I was mad about that too. Because he went off on them hiring Matt Ryan and Stefanski.
Whatever.
I was like, But Matt Ryan, look, I feel like anytime you've been around football, as long as he's been around football.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't like he was a linebacker, no disrespect to any linebackers, but he was the quarterback. He touched the ball every play.
Yep.
Every play he touched the ball. And being a quarterback, your job is to know everybody's job.
Absolutely.
Flat out.
Yep.
From the defense and the offense, because you got to know what the defense is doing, and then you got to know what everybody in the offense is doing. So your mind works differently. Mm-hmm. So that seems like that's a perfect fit. And he wasn't a bum quarterback at all.
He was a really solid quarterback for a long
Pro
time.
Bowl quarterback.
Had an MVP year.
You know what I mean? So that being in that position, that you know how an organization works. And you know what an organization needs to be 100%. Successful. So, I mean, to me, I feel like it's a good fit. I feel like it's a really good fit.
I love it. I love the hire. I mean, it's going to be... I'm really excited for Atlanta next year. If they can... So, Kyle Pitts is an unrestricted free agent this offseason, if I remember correctly, because it was his 5th year. If you can bring him back for cheap... Because outside of like the last few weeks of the season, he's done largely nothing since his rookie year.
Yeah,
he's done largely nothing.
He shows potential.
He's got flashes. You've seen what you thought you were going to get out of him when you drafted him. And I think you can definitely get that with Kevin Stefanski. So if you can get him for relatively cheap, let's say maybe 8 to 10 million, I think is like a lower end tight end contract, annual. I think if you can get him for roughly around there, maybe 12 at the top end, I think you can definitely make some noise next year with this offense. And then they retained Jeff Ulbrich, their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They retained him, and he was really solid with that defense. They were great with the pass rush. That's why they had James Pierce Jr. led. He has the all-time rookie record in sacks with 10.5. If I remember correct, I know he had 10.5 sacks. I think that's the all-time rookie record.
Something just flashed in my head right now.
Yeah.
Did the Chiefs re-sign their offensive coordinator?
Matt Nagy? Nope.
No.
He's
Bieniemy. Yeah.
He's bringing back. They're bringing back,
right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, that could be interesting. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for Atlanta next year.
Well, there's still a lot of positions open, and there's a lot of coaches that can fill those positions.
Yep.
We'll see what happens in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. I feel like, we all know this is all going to be sold up before April because you got to have everything sold. You got to have a coach before the draft.
Absolutely.
Got to have a coach before the draft.
Absolutely have to.
I think, let's
You want to talk about these conference championship games?
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
Man, let's get into our picks real quick because I know the time's coming down pretty soon. So
let's do it.
We'll run through this real quick, guys, and we'll let you know where we stand and next week's games.
So after a pretty rough week last week.
Whew, man, you guys had a rough week.
Quan.
Let them know.
You are 3-7, my friend.
Knew that was happening.
I really should have been 0-4. I really should have been 0-4.
Yo, I've never met somebody, man, like, what do you mean I won a game?
Because on the show I picked the Rams, but all weekend I was picking the Bears because of the weather. And even on my show, I did a show with Jamal Hill, and I picked the Bears on that show because I said the weather,
right?
The Rams were like 1-8 or something like that. And,
so that tells you right there. One show he's picking the Rams, the other show he's picking the Bears.
He hedged his bets. That's what he did. And I guess it worked here for you.
You said I can't lose either way.
Can't lose.
Absolutely. Myself, Yeah,
You went 0-4.
I went 0-4.
Knew that was gonna happen.
So
Wow.
Quan's at 3-7. I'm at 5-5. And Gel,
the man.
look
Let
at
him-
you.
Let him know. Let him know.
You are 7-3, my friend.
You know why? Because I'm a primetime player, y'all. Primetime practice. Season was just practice.
He's the Jamal Murray of
Yeah,
picking.
but your record didn't really get you to the playoffs.
Yes,
to
it did.
Be able to make
Oh.
these picks.
He's
Well,
the.
there's only 3 of us. So,
He's the.
I was,
no.
I was gonna be there.
I think this is the greatest comparison I'm about to make.
Don't make it.
He's the Jamal Murray of picking football games. Regular season does not do that much. Playoffs, he does something.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect
I'm a
comparison.
primetime player. That's all I'm saying.
He is Jamal Murray.
All right. So what do we got for this weekend's picks?
Man, we got a couple of good games, of course. Only, 2 games being played being conference championship weekend. We've got the Rams heading up to Seattle
Yep.
to face the Seahawks.
Light work.
Who you picking?
Rams.
You picking the
Come
Rams?
on now.
Quan, I'm guessing you're picking Meteor.
If Venezuela bombs us,
Oh my god!
just let it be
This man.
just the stadium, just that stadium at that time. So they both lose.
Talking about the revenge game for real.
He's saying have it end in a tie. Is what you're saying, even though that's not going to happen.
Oh man,
It's a really tough. This is the hardest game to pick.
I don't think
all
so.
year.
I hate
Rams are going to the
Seattle
Super Bowl.
fans more than Rams fans, and that's where it's going to go for me. And I actually love Stafford,
I love Stafford.
so I'm going to pick the Rams in this game because Seattle fans are obnoxious. Rams fans, they've been fans for a couple of years. Let's face it.
They've only had like 3
they didn't
years,
have a football team for a while.
Yeah.
So their fans are kind of fake. They're just LA fans. So like,
Yeah.
That's really what it is
They'll
too.
bang
They're just
on you.
LA
They
fans.
just love
Yeah.
LA.
They're an LA team, so they're LA fans.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I will take the Rams because I would want them to win more than I'd want Seattle. I do not want to see Seattle and New England again in the playoffs. Those are my 2 least favorite teams
Yep.
in the Super Bowl that
Yep.
year.
Yep.
And I was going for New England that year. So that play at the end was beautiful to me.
Fair. Honestly, fair.
Yeah.
I also am going to take door number 3 at Meteor. But no, realistically, this is honestly probably the toughest game to pick, period. Not necessarily because of the NFC Championship, but because of who's playing. You have the Seahawks, who are probably the most well-rounded team in football all year. They've been playing lights out all year. They've made very few mistakes this year. On the other hand, you have the Rams, MVP caliber quarterback, Puka Nacua, who him and JSN are like neck and neck in terms of like offensive player of the year and everything like that. A lot of moving pieces with the Rams. They've got a great defense as well. It's a really tough game. I honestly don't want to make this pick, period, because I don't like either team.
You got to pick somebody. So
I
pick.
have to pick. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, it was a 20-minute soliloquy or whatever you want to call
Soliloquy,
it.
is that what you're trying to say?
Soliloquy on
I'm
why
gonna-
you don't want to pick
I'm going to take,
the Rams. Just pick the Rams.
I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow. So you're going 0-1.
I also, here's the thing. Part of it is because last week, all 3 of us voted Buffalo. And I was the last one to vote, and I voted Buffalo. And we saw what happened. So, to protect myself, I'm going to vote different.
Okay, so you're going with Seattle.
I hate it. I hate
AFC.
I hate that those words came out of my mouth.
AFC. So we're going to go what?
New England. It's
Okay.
going to be New England, man.
I'm with you.
New
I'm
England, Denver. If Bo Nix was playing this game, I probably would have picked the Broncos.
Really?
Honestly, I think that's what I would do. But without Bo Nix, I'm taking Drizzy Drake to make the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, I'm picking New England just because I'm rolling with Drizzy. What about you, Quan?
Now, this has already been a very weird year. We've seen a lot of weird things happen.
Yep.
Watch
And I
Denver
think
win.
we're seeing another weird thing happen this year in this game. And I think Denver's going to win. They're
And
at
make
home.
it to the Super Bowl
and they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
with no Bo. That's
Hey,
wild.
could you imagine
so
how Bo
wild.
Nix would feel if he
Oh,
missed
my
the last
Lord.
2 games and they win
I
the
got
Super
us
Bowl?
here.
That's what Carson Wentz did a handful of years ago when it was Philly.
Yeah.
Well,
He got him to the playoffs.
and that's what Tom Brady did. They got in the playoffs. Tom Brady had to take over for Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, but that wasn't in the playoffs though.
It wasn't the playoffs.
That was like
Did he take over in the
It
playoffs?
was the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, it was first round of the playoffs. Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Okay.
That's when Tom Brady had to take over.
I thought it was before right before the playoffs started.
I think it was like that first round. But anyway,
I'm not sure. This was before my time.
Dang.
Yeah, so everybody's going New England then.
No.
Well, no, he said Broncos.
Oh, you said Denver?
Yeah.
Because he hates New England that much.
Oh, that's right.
Weird
because
things are going to happen.
Weird things. I don't know. That's why.
I think Denver's going to win home. He just has to not screw up.
Yeah.
It's Jarrett. It's Jarrett Stidham.
I know.
It's Jarrett Stidham.
Well,
But it's been a weird year. I'm telling you.
It has been a weird year.
I'm telling you.
Like when you say it like that, that makes
telling
sense. That makes sense.
I
It's been a
understand where you're
weird
coming
year.
from. I do. I have to roll with the potential MVP candidate on one of the better teams in football right now. Potential coach of the year candidate as well with Mike Vrabel.
True. Okay. All right. So
Seattle, New England.
Seattle, New England.
Yeah.
I got the Rams and Broncos.
And
Rams in New England.
Yep.
I'm glad we all got different
I like that we all, it's all different.
picks.
2-0 right here, baby.
I'm 2-0.
No.
2-0.
Bro, you have not gone 2-0 this
right.
entire year.
I just went 3-1.
That's not 2-0.
That's not 2-0.
I mean, if you take off two of those games,
Okay,
that's
LeBron.
2-0. Wow.
But I
Anyway.
got there a lot.
Anywho.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks
Yeah,
for
man.
watching. Like we said, we got a lot of good things coming up. I'm excited. Caleb's excited.
Always.
Juan's excited. We're excited to show you guys some new stuff. We're gonna be doing some other new stuff. We got a couple new segments about to pop off. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait to let you guys know and show you guys what we got going on. Like, subscribe, share. If you have any questions, please hit us up. Caleb?
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching this, this whole season. Appreciate y'all's support. We are not gonna, we're gonna keep grinding, keep working. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and we will see you guys.
We'll see you guys
Heading into the Super
next
Bowl.
week. Yeah, it's almost that time.
It's almost that time.
Almost that
Football
time.
season's over. It's basically over.
Woo. Peace.
It ended Saturday night.
Yeah. In his mind.